Dean, nice to go 2-0 to start the season.
Yeah, it's been a very good start, I suppose. Yesterday we were always going to get challenged by Port at some stage, and for the boys to hang on was a really good effort.
Is that a game you might have lost last year?
Oh yeah, probably. I think history probably suggests that, but this group's a very resilient group to be challenged throughout the pre-season at times by good sides and really stand up, and then also against North Melbourne last week, but to back that up was a great effort.
How are you feeling personally? You started the season pretty well. You've surprised a lot of people with how you've come out. Have you surprised yourself?
No, not at all. I think people's expectations on me I can't really control. I just over the past couple of years I know I've been down on form and just probably not playing the footy I know I'm capable of, and whether that's being restricted or not, it's just been good to be able to get a full pre-season, do all the workload and come out and play the way that I know I can. So that's happened the first couple of games, and hopefully it continues for the remainder of the year.
What's the feeling like in the group after the first 2 wins? I mean, obviously it must be pretty positive.
Yeah, it is. Certainly a lot different compared to last year, and all the players have worked really hard over the summer to get these 2 wins, but there's no point us starting the way we have and then unfortunately ending the season on a bad note. So it's just about sustaining the efforts that we continue to put in, week out now.
Blokes like Andrew Embley, the old Benjamin Button, he's winding up.
Yeah, the old veterans. But no, he was fantastic yesterday. I think his away form, some of the games he's put up against the Bulldogs last year, he had a fantastic one. Collingwood, he's done it, and I think for him to play the way he did and really set the scene for a lot of their younger players was a phenomenal effort. And it's great to see him up and about playing good footy. We all know what he's capable of, and he's just continuing to show it.
How much difference does it make having Nick either inside the centre square or just as support for you?
Oh, it's a huge advantage. I think, as it's probably been noted, we both bring different attributes to the ruck position, and he's going to continue. He was great yesterday in his first game for the year, and to see him develop, spend time forward, play as a midfielder, he'll have a number of roles throughout the year and just brings so much, I suppose, difference to our football side.
And Curry, what was it like having him back running through the midfield?
Yeah, it's great to certainly great to see him going up and going. So he, unfortunately, he's had a tough year, but he's been in fantastic form for East Fremantle during the time and pulled up well apparently. So good to have him back.
Have you spoken to him after the game, how he's pulled up?
Yeah, he pulled up well. So that's a good thing now. All it is just a matter of him backing up week in, week out now. Really getting the miles into his legs, playing consistent football and having an impact for the footy side like we know he can.
I guess he, in the first maybe half, he looked like at times just adjusting to the pace of the game. Did he talk to you about that after the match, about just the tempo after 12 months?
No, 12 months. I think he's been out of the game for probably, to play 20 games in the last 3 years. He probably, the game's changed so much, so when he does get a hold of the ball, there's so much more pressure on the ball carrier now that it took him a little bit of time to get used to, but he's a class player. He's just so creative by hand, really good around stoppages, very unpredictable about his movement, which way he's going to go. So he took a little bit to adjust, but then, I think once he got going, he was great.
And you think his role might change to what we know from maybe 3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah, I think, certainly he won't be running and carrying the footy. It would be great if he could, but with the forward pressure and everything that gets put on now, I think he'll be in and under like he always has. You can't tell Kerry to change the way he plays. He just hunts the footy, and that's what he does best.
What about Rick Shuey, mate? It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, fantastic young kid. Had a lot of adversity for his first couple of years, and I think during the pre-season has really taken a huge step forward and showed that on the weekend, against some quality midfielders, to be able to generate as much footy. He's hard at the ball, he's got great turn of foot, so he had something different to our midfielder and finished off with 3 goals. So, that's what you want him to do. Not only does he get the first possession, but he really works hard to continue down the ground and try and become a link player and get the second and third possession again. So, great to see him up and about. He's held in such high regard by all the players at the football club that we just can't wait to see him play a long career here.
sounds like there's a bit of a midfield building there as well.
Yeah, I think, well, when you get Luke about and Curry back, it certainly adds another couple of dimensions. You know, Pritter's always going to do the bullocking work that he always does. Adam Selwood, Scott Selwood can run through there. So, yeah, we're starting to build some depth, which is really good.
Just one downline, I suppose, is Bowie coming through with a bit of an elbow problem. Have you heard what's wrong there?
Don't know the extent of it, but obviously a little bit sore, which is very unfortunate for Bo to put himself in the best shape to play good football for this footy club. And some of the acts he does on a football field are amazing, really team inspiring. You know, he laid a couple of tackles, put on that smother, and then gave the ball to Andrew Embley to finish with a goal. It was an unbelievable effort, and hopefully it's not too long so he can continue doing those things for this footy side.
And your form's been exceptional in the first 2 games. How are you going in terms of recovery afterwards? Do you think you can keep it up for the year? Yeah,
body's feeling really good. Obviously a little bit sore last week after the cramp, but yeah, pulled up really well. So I think, you know, as we get older, probably, you know, less is more now. So it's just a matter of sitting down with the sports science and the fitness staff and really go through a program that come weekends we're ready to go. So I think, you know, I'll still get my training load into me and still be able to continue this form over the whole year, hopefully.
Did you think you guys would be 2-0 after the first 2 games?
Yeah, well, I thought we had a great opportunity to start the season well. I think, you know, I don't think you go and sit down at the start of the year with a fixture and circle the ones that you think you'll win. We were just in a position that if we can play intense football for 120 minutes, well then, you know, we can match it with most sides of the competition. And we held on last week and were fortunate enough to push away at the end of the game this week. So big challenge this week against Sydney. We've had some great encounters against them, so no doubt it'll be another one.
Does it feel as though you've turned the corner as a club, or is it too early to say that?
Oh, I think certainly with our performances we're starting to show that, you know, a lot of the younger players are starting to really mature, understand what it takes to win games of football and be in games of football for a long period of time. And I think that's all we can ask for, is that we keep giving the effort that we have. We'll eventually, you know, as long as we play to our game plan, our skills will eventually continue to improve, and then we'll win a lot more games of football. So, yeah, I think from last year, very disappointing, but we've certainly turned the corner and hopefully there's a few more wins around.
Just back on Embley with the focus on youth this year, some people made the early pre-season call that he might struggle for a place. Do you think that was maybe unfair based on what we've seen in these first 2 games?
Well, I think everyone just certainly looks at a date of birth and says once you're at a period of time, well then it's time up. And, you know, I think Embers has proved that no matter what the age, he can still have an impact for the footy side, and he's done that his whole career. And, you know, no one can take away his football ability. He's done all the work he's put in, and now his body's great. So, you know, I think he can play for a number of years yet.